Congratulations on your new Bezzera Aria PID or Soleil espresso machine. In this guide, you'll learn about the parts of the machine, their functions, and how to quickly set it up. Make espresso, froth milk, make a latte, and an Americano, as well as how to adjust the PID menu settings and perform routine cleaning and maintenance on your machine. In the accessory box with a Bezzera Soleil are a single and double spout portafilter, commercial 10-gram single and 20-gram double shot filter baskets, a backflush disc, a 58mm Bezzera logo tamper, and a Brew Group cleaning brush. The Aria comes with all the same accessories, except you get a bottomless portafilter instead of a single spouted one. It also includes an E61 flow control install kit. On top of the machine is a cup warmer, underneath which is access for filling the reservoir. The front of the machine features the E61 group, which on the Aria comes stock with a flow control device and group head pressure gauge. The brew lever is on the right-hand side of the group head. Lift this to begin brewing and lower it to stop the flow of water. On the machine's left side is the joystick valve for steam operation. The one on the right operates the hot water wand. On the left of the group head, you'll find the dual pressure gauges, which read the pump pressure when you're brewing and the pressure in the steam boiler. On the Aria, those are combined into 1 manometer, while on the Soleil they've been kept separate. The main power switch is on the lower left of the machine. The PID screen is located above the power switch on the Aria and on the upper right of the machine on the Soleil. This shows you the current brew temperature and doubles as a shot timer during extractions. It also gives you access to the full programming menu. For more information on programming, watch the PID menu chapter later in this video. The drip tray slides out for easy emptying. The Aria PID and Soleil both use a 3-way solenoid valve to discharge excess water from the puck after an extraction. You'll notice water being evacuated from the lower valve assembly on the group head. This is normal. If using the reservoir as a water source, first remove and rinse the reservoir, then fill it with properly filtered water, and press the main power button. The PID display will show the current brew temperature as it heats up. The dot in the lower right corner of the display indicates that the machine is heating. To connect the machine to a plumbed water line, begin by removing the water tank and inserting the plug into the tank support opening where the water detection sensor is located. Then turn the tap on the bottom rear of the machine from tank to net. Attach the included water supply line to the machine and to a water line that has an operating pressure no greater than 6 bar. If your water line delivers water at more than 6 bar of pressure, you must install a pressure reducer. It is also recommended that you install a shutoff valve upstream of the machine's connection. When brewing with a Bezzera Aria PID or Soleil, use fresh ground coffee from a separate grinder. Fine-tuning grind size is the key to success when grinding your own coffee fresh. It's a straightforward process of adjusting the grind size to change how long it takes the espresso to extract. Grinding finer slows down the extraction, and grinding coarser speeds it up. The goal is for the entire extraction to take about 25 to 30 seconds. Timing is the same for single and double shots, so start with a grind that looks like this. Very fine. When you pinch between your fingers, it should hold together a bit and be fine enough to maybe make out your fingerprints in the compressed coffee. When you have a grind size that looks like this, load your portafilter. It's important to try and use the same amount or weight of coffee each time. Using more coffee slows down an extraction, and using less speeds it up. The best way to be consistent is to weigh the coffee, but if you do not have a scale, you can get close by slightly overfilling your portafilter and swiping away excess coffee level with the rim. With the coffee loaded, use the tamper to firmly and evenly compress the coffee. You want a nice flat surface so brew water moves evenly through the coffee. Attach the portafilter and raise the brew lever. Time the extraction. Again, the goal is about 25 to 30 seconds for the extraction, and timing is the same for single and double shots. If your extraction was too slow, adjust the grind size a little coarser and try again. If the extraction was too fast, adjust the grind size a little finer to slow it down. Now, you may get lucky and get the grind size right in a couple of attempts, but no, it's not unusual to do 3 or more to dial into the right grind size. A good quality espresso focused grinder helps a lot. Be consistent with the amount of coffee used and tamp the coffee firm and level. Also know that grind size is not set and forget. If you change coffee type, as your beans age, or the amount used changes, your grind size will likely need slight adjustment. You've made your espresso, so let's look at frothing milk, and we'll combine the two for a latte. Add about 4 to 5 ounces of milk to a frothing pitcher. The exact amount depends on your final drink size. Before frothing milk, briefly open the valve to purge the wand. Then position the tip just below the surface of the milk and open the valve. This tip position sips in small amounts of air, creating tiny microbubbles in the milk, which creates a rich, creamy texture. As the milk expands, lower the pitcher ever so slightly to keep the tip at the same depth just below the surface of the milk. When satisfied with the amount of air in the milk, lower the wand a little deeper below the surface and find a wand angle that causes the milk to swirl. The swirling breaks up any larger bubbles and creates a uniform milk texture in the pitcher. Keep the milk swirling until the outside of the pitcher just starts to get uncomfortable to hold due to heating. That's when the milk is at about 140 Fahrenheit or 60 Celsius, the sweet point for milk temperature. Close the steam valve with the tip still below the surface. Remove the pitcher and wipe down the wand immediately to prevent milk from baking on. Always purge the steam wand after frothing to purge milk from inside the wand. Before pouring the frothed milk over your espresso, you can tap and swirl the pitcher to break up any larger bubbles. Then pour a bit of the frothed milk in your cup and give it a little swirl to mix with your espresso. Then continue pouring the rest of the milk froth to fill your cup. It'll taste great just like this, or with a little practice and the help of online tutorials, you can dress it up with some latte art. You can adjust the steam pressure by raising or lowering the boiler temperature. When brew temps are set to 176 degrees Fahrenheit, you will get 0.5 bar of pressure out of the steam wand. At 212, you'll get 1.7 bar. This table shows how steam pressure changes as you adjust the brew temperature. The recommended espresso brewing temperature range is between 195 and 205 degrees Fahrenheit, which would give you between 1 and 1.3 bar pressure. However, you can raise or lower the boiler temperature to increase or decrease steam pressure after brewing to best suit your milk frothing needs. If you are just starting out, a lower steam pressure will give you more time to infuse air into your milk. If you're experienced at milk frothing, a higher pressure will allow you to froth milk more quickly. Making an Americano is a way to enjoy a drip coffee-sized beverage brewed with an espresso machine. Start by brewing a shot of espresso as you normally would. When finished, pour the shot into a coffee mug and add water from the hot water tap until you've achieved your desired ratio. A typical ratio of espresso to water for an Americano is 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, but you can add more or less to suit your taste. When not in use, the PID display shows the current brew temperature. To access the PID menu, press the minus and plus buttons at the same time. From here, you can program the brew temperature between 176 and 212 degrees Fahrenheit, or change the units of measurement from imperial to metric. Press the minus button to switch between the menus and the plus button to select which setting to edit. While in a settings menu, the minus and plus buttons will adjust that setting. To revert to a previous menu, wait a couple of seconds. The Bezzera Aria PID comes stock with a flow control device and group head pressure gauge installed. The Soleil does not come with a flow control device, however, it can be purchased as an add-on. By rotating this valve, you can increase or decrease the flow of water through the group head. The stock flow rate is achieved when the flow control knob is rotated 1 1/4 turns from a closed, no-flow position. While higher than stock flow rates are rarely used, low flow can be used to perform an extended pre-infusion or follow a flow profile for brewing a specific roast of coffee. For more information on some basic flow profiles, see the video linked in the description. To keep your Bezzera Aria PID or Soleil in the best possible condition, it's important to keep it clean and well maintained. Portafilters, filter baskets, and the drip tray should all be rinsed thoroughly and wiped down after you're finished using the machine for the day. Use the included group head cleaning brush to scrub the shower screen, making sure to get in the space around the shower screen where the portafilter locks into place. Back flushing is required to prevent the buildup of coffee grounds and oils in and around the group head and shower screen. To back flush the machine, install the back flush disc in your portafilter, lock it into the group head, and run the brew pump for 20 seconds. Remove the portafilter and dump the water into a receptacle. Repeat this process until you don't see coffee grounds in the back flush disc. You should perform water-only back flushes after each use of the machine. You should also back flush using Kefitsa detergent once every month or so, depending on how often you brew. The process is the same, except you begin by putting a small amount of Kefitsa detergent in the back flush disc before locking it into your portafilter. When back flushing with Kefitsa, it's important to make sure you run the pump for at least 20 seconds to ensure the detergent can dissolve properly. It's also important to be sure to rinse the detergent out of the machine before brewing with it again. To do this, back flush the machine at least 5 times with no detergent or until the water discharging into your drip tray after running the pump is clear. Now that you've got your Bezzera Aria PID or Soleil all set up and ready to brew, there are a few other accessories we recommend picking up. Using properly filtered water is essential. When used as directed, a BWT water filtration system will prevent the buildup of scale in your machine in all but the most extreme edge cases. There are several BWT systems available that are compatible with the Bezzera Aria PID or Soleil, including in-reservoir and inline options. You'll also want to make sure you're keeping your machine clean. For that, you'll need some Kefitsa to clean your portafilters, baskets, and group head, and if you're making milk drinks, Rinza to clean out your steam wand. Of course, if you plan on making milk drinks, you'll need a frothing pitcher as well. The best espresso is brewed using beans that have been ground fresh. That means you'll want to add a dedicated espresso grinder to your setup. We also recommend weighing your grounds and your brewed espresso. For that, you'll need an espresso scale. And of course, you can't brew great espresso without great coffee. We have a wide selection of fresh, locally roasted options, as well as your favorites from brands like Lavazza and Carraro. For additional information on operating and maintaining your Bezzera Aria PID or Soleil, see the operating instructions book which came with the machine. For technical assistance, contact Latte Love's Customer Support or Technical Support Center.